Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Only Football, the most underrated football podcast ever. Mike, wow, what a day. What a weekend.
A Champions League and the weekend. No, weekend for you, but it was mostly just Sunday for everyone else.
What do you mean?
The City and Liverpool. But
Yeah.
you had Saturday and Sunday.
Listen, we were just talking this, Mike. I said we'd lose last week to Everton. I said we would. And sure enough, we did. And you asked me, oh, you must have felt really bad. And I said, no, I don't feel bad anymore. I feel nothing when it comes to United at the moment. It's that's where we're at, which is worse.
You're not gonna change teams, but is it
change teams?
No, I know that, but how bad could it get?
You
have a new coach come in.
And the one that I wanted, which is why I was talking to one of the hostlers today, Spurs fan, Mike also named Mike. And, he asked me, just based on now, would you rather have had Conte or Ten Hag? And, I said, at the time, I didn't want...
You didn't want Conte.
Conte, really, because it wasn't, really too big, on the 3-5. I would have taken him, obviously. I needed Ollie gone for sure, but Ranić. What happened with Ranić was the ideal for me because I was hoping that we would in fact get Ten Hag through this, and sure enough, it seems as though United will have done so, and I still stand by that. I know Conte would have really completely exposed, the inefficiencies of this club, and managers not getting listened to, but it would have been a very short-term thing. Again, he just would have left. Things would have rumbled on, and I think after a couple of years, people just kind of would have forgotten about it. Sure that there'll be protests. There might be a protest this weekend against Norwich, which I admire, which is great. But I just think it would have been very short-term kind of fix. And with Ten Hag,
long-term future,
I certainly hope so. I'm not getting carried away. He's the man I wanted ever since Nagelsmann went to Bayern. My attention immediately shifted to Ten Hag. Ten Hag. Is what the Dutch really want to pronounce as, but I'm not going to do that every time. And I just, I'm just not getting carried away because apparently he said that he's coming out on his own terms. I am the manager. Poch, for example, when he was at Spurs, he said I'm not a manager, I'm a coach. On multiple occasions, I'm not in charge of transfers. I don't necessarily get who I want. And Ten Hag has said this.
He wants to be a manager.
Yeah, like anyone. But, with certain clubs, United and Spurs are prime examples, United especially. They don't always get their way. And more often than not, they don't. So apparently these are the terms. But at the same time, Mike, I also heard that Ranić originally declined United because they weren't going to meet his terms. And then they came back and they said they gave him what he needed or, what he wanted, even not necessarily in the short spell of interim, but it's already shown. It was already shown to us in the January transfer window. So I feel as though Ten Hag could easily just wind up not getting what he needs and what he wants. But we'll get into that later down the road.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you think they give him 2 years, no matter what?
Ten Hag?
To believe, just even if they come seventh again and then they come fourth, do they stick with him after those?
I think
if
so.
They come seventh again, and then the next season they come fourth.
I think they absolutely have to. This team needs to be gutted and rebuilt. And you know what? That also works in their benefit too, because I think that he gets 3 years. And he should get 3 years. Easily. He should get at least 3 years. Seventh and fourth is fine by me. Because seventh next year, dude, this team is on its knees. And this is a huge rebuild.
Everywhere.
You're completely revamping. And then fourth in 2 years from now, man, I'll take that. Think what's going to happen 2 years from now, okay? Arsenal are already 2 years ahead of us in their rebuild.
Yeah.
Okay? You have City, Liverpool, Chelsea. You have the likes of Newcastle coming through with big money. Who knows what Spurs is going to be doing with Conte? I honestly would take fourth 2 years from now. Who knows? Villa's been putting money in.
No, Villa, maybe they can pull a West Ham. West Ham.
Who knows if West Ham's
had a chance.
Okay, but Mike, there's just so much competition in the Premier League, and it's only getting
better
and better. And so, yeah, if you tell me 2 years from now that we got fourth place, based on where we're at right now, I will take it. I will
That's
take
how
it.
bad it's been, eh? So
Yeah,
you do still feel something. I knew it. You said you felt nothing. You still feel something.
I'm realistic. When it comes to but we're talking, but you're asking me like on a match to match basis though. Of course, for the future of the club, I have hope and despair. But on losing to Everton,
that's a big blow to Europa League.
I
know Champions League might have been gone already, but Europa League.
Yeah, maybe we finish 8th. Don't finish 7th, please.
7th is
it's Conference League.
But with 6 is nothing though, right? Or is 6 Europa League? 6 Europa League?
6 is Europa League.
So 5 and 6?
Unless Palace wins the FA Cup.
Oh, okay.
And then, or maybe also if Leicester wins the Conference League, that could be a thing too.
Oh, is Leicester in Conference League or are they?
Yeah, they got booted out of the Europa League.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Anyway, listen. Now that Ten Hag's pretty much done, swear I'm gonna do that video.
Wow. Is it? It's done. If it was done, they would have announced it already.
I think it's. He still has the cup final against PSV.
So after that,
I think so. I think so. But anyway, Mike, City Liverpool. They deliver again. Klopp and Pep. Some sloppy defending.
Yes, but entertaining football.
It was extremely entertaining. 2 legs, not 2 legs, but both reverse fixtures. Yeah, 2-2 draws, and really good stuff.
We're getting extra time this weekend.
And then so we're going to close with the FA Cup preview. We'll do that. What a couple of weeks those two teams have had, especially City. Liverpool have at least handled Benfica. We'll see what happens tomorrow. We'll get into that as well. But yeah, City. Who's the better team in your mind? I just said City. I led with it. I do think City was still a better team.
That day?
On Sunday, yeah.
I would have to agree, but
I'm not saying it wasn't a terribly unfair result at all.
I think the better team in the league, though, is Liverpool.
How do you mean by that?
I think there was just City just had a very hot streak, but like day in and day out, I still think Liverpool is better overall in the league.
Match by match,
maybe like I'm saying City like dominate the game, but Liverpool they can put the game away early, and then they play a style that once you try to come back, they hurt you even more. Right? Sometimes it hasn't worked out, and teams have come back and tied, like when they up 2-0 against Brighton and lost.
Sure, yeah, that happens.
But that happened only like twice or 3 times in the season.
I don't really know if I'm having that. I think City they're deeper. They play a more controlled brand of football, but it's still entertaining, and they generally do put teams away early. I take your point where I think you just kind of Mike's been like feeding off of Liverpool with his gambling. And Liverpool, and if they go up by 2, you win your bet, right? And it's like early cash out. I take your point, okay, no, I do, but they do it early, and they do early. But like City, City on that 1-0 lead, and like you're pretty.
Yes, I was sitting on a 1-0
lead, and they're gonna
sometimes take a while to score that goal though, and they look beatable sometimes.
Well, but that's probably I would say it's because there's obviously evident confidence. Against smaller clubs, and against Liverpool, they were the better team. First half, especially, I think Liverpool were kind of lucky to get away with a 2-1.
They had a good chance. If Joshua passed it to Salah, it would have been 2-2 before half. On that one chance, where I think Walker or someone was able to recover, but took a touch. But if you played Salah,
I do think City had them
better
not
chances.
Hemmed.
Not him. Their goal was lucky.
It was sure. It was early though. It set the tone. And and
Liverpool replied right away.
Exactly, but Liverpool did reply right away. What are you shaking your head at?
I said they did.
They did. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm confident on them doing that. Right.
Well, I know, and good on them.
City sometimes go down 1-0, and they're like, okay, now
what do we do?
No, not what do they do, but they try too hard and just get opened up again.
Mm-hmm.
But
that's something that they're gonna have to learn to deal with. But I would say overall they were the better team. Second half, Liverpool answered. I think it was more or less equal in the second half. Although lucky that Mahrez just didn't bury that at the end, and season would have been over.
Oh yeah, I know. But unfortunate with the offside goal.
That's to me. That's the offside that just needs to be eliminated.
When because he wasn't the play, but he did kind of interfere with the play.
Sorry, I'm talking about Sterling, right?
Yeah.
So
they called both of them, right? But wasn't
they call? There's no way they called De Bruyne offside on that.
Someone he was actually offside, but he made an attempt at the ball and then stopped to let Sterling get it.
That was De Bruyne.
So I think I don't know.
Did they actually do that?
I didn't
think he was near close enough for them to actually consider that.
I didn't know if they just.
I just thought it was a bad call. Personally, I thought it was a bad call. Either way, on both accounts, was Sterling offside? Again, it's one of those
fractions.
Yeah, it's a hair again where it's like you're killing the game.
Unlucky for him,
and
he always gets robbed with Sterling.
He had a good game. He's been playing quite well lately. And then with De Bruyne, if that's the case, that's just shocking because De Bruyne was offside and he barely made a start towards it, and then Sterling was on it. He didn't interfere at all. To me, I think it's a bad call. Liverpool fans want to hear it, and that's fine.
I'm just glad it did end in a City win, and we have an exciting end to the season. And I think City have a more favorable schedule, don't they?
I don't think City have anyone out of the big six. And Liverpool have Spurs. That's it.
And United.
They have Spurs.
All right, yeah, just Spurs. Just Oh,
we got to preview that next week, eh?
Yeah,
it's like the day before. I think it's the Tuesday.
It would have been this weekend, right? But
and he actually plays Jesus as a number 9.
Yeah, were you surprised? Is that overthinking again, or
it absolutely was a great finish from Jesus
when he started?
A really good finish. That was a really really nice finish because he pretty much had to go bar down that more or less. But a little bit I was like, oh wow, he didn't pick Mahrez. But again, that's the glute of talent that they have. They're just so deep. But
the other one didn't even see the field either, right?
Yeah, they gotta be rotating too, right? They gotta be rotating. They still have a match to play tomorrow in Madrid. So when we'll get to that in a second. Do you have any one thing? Okay, Mike, I have to ask you this. This is really kind of rubbing me the wrong way. Pep and Klopp have done such a
doing the handshake. Is that what you're getting at?
Yeah, I can't stand it. And and the whole build up in these pre-match and post-match interviews with either of them, it's like, holy guys, please put them away. And you guys have cultivated this between your clubs and yourselves based on results and what you've done last few years, this great rivalry. And I'm not saying it has to be the likes of Wenger and Ferguson, all right?
But you want some venom?
Or just no lovey-dovey. Just don't really acknowledge the other one for the great that they're doing, and not to this level. It's actually kind of sickening, and it's really, to me, deterring. It's taking away from it.
So you want like a Max Verstappen in there, someone
hell yeah,
who always rubs everyone.
But it doesn't even have to be to that level. That's what I'm saying. It's actually I can't wait to sit down at the Hall of Fame dinner together and talk about these matches we've had for hours. It's like, fuck off.
You are okay. You missed the Mourinho Wenger days.
Ferguson too, but it honestly doesn't need to be snipey. I would take that, absolutely. I absolutely would prefer that, but I really am not saying it has to get to that point.
Okay.
It's
I didn't mind it. Okay. I'm not saying I liked it, but I didn't mind it. Right? It's like, oh, you know what?
I mind it. I mind it a lot.
If they do this every time, then
dude, what do you mean every time? This is the time when you don't. Both teams are chasing a treble. One's chasing a quad. It's not like City or Liverpool, vice versa, is up by 10 points comfy. All right? You're actually chasing the title. That's one title, and you guys are doing this. To me, what it shows is just a removal of. They do great. I'm not knocking them as managers. They're amazing managers. They're arguably the 2 best in the world. But to me, what it shows is a kind of removal from the fan. Like they don't understand what the fan is going through. They it's like we're the best. It's actually more me and him than it is you guys.
Yeah.
Like yes, obviously I want to win and be the best, but he's right there with me. And she like the City fans are. Come on.
City fans, listen to yourself.
Listen, I know. They have fans. It's a big stadium. Regardless, to me, it does actually rub me the wrong way, like quite a bit. Actually, I'm really not for it.
Well, I hope it doesn't happen every time, but I didn't mind it seeing it one time.
One time right now, and this is like the zenith.
Yeah,
this is the zenith of what they've been doing. Do you think there's at this time of the season they're gonna both be in all three, like a Champions League, FA Cup, and
we'll see. We'll see this weekend.
And a domestic.
If they win this weekend,
I need a Conte.
They're gonna go for
That's
it.
What I need. I need a Conte in there. I need a Conte. I bet you, if Spurs get their shit together, like they get fourth, and Conte really gets, because they're coming, man. They're looking good. All right, but if they can have a good summer and Conte can get them going, because he can build a team like that. If they're actually hanging in a title race, like dark horses around this time next year, I could honestly see Pep and Klopp like kind of almost teaming up against Conte, and like, oh, Conte complains too much. I'm calling it now. If Spurs are hanging, Conte's going to be the problem child for these guys.
Well, he's already Spurs did the double of City this year, right? So
they almost always do. It doesn't matter who's managing Spurs. Spurs just beat Pep. It's true. Dude, like Mourinho did it. Poch did it. Honestly, it doesn't matter. It's hilarious.
And he can't do it, eh?
He doesn't like Spurs. But anyway, not a fan. Spurs, though, really, really rolling right now.
They are.
Villa played well in that first half. Could have been up 2-1. But they got not a stranglehold, but they are in the driver's seat for fourth place. Just like that.
It's theirs to lose.
Just like
right
that.
now.
It turned just like that.
That's what we wanted. I just wanted to last.
That's what I want.
Yeah,
get in there, Spurs. Spurs are the harmless. I don't know.
I just hope. I think it'd be better for Spurs because I think Harry Kane will stay. You think he leaves regardless? I think he's going to stay with Conte. So I think if they get fourth, it'll mean more for them. Arsenal, they can still be a year away.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I agree.
If Arsenal don't make it, they shouldn't freak out, right?
No, absolutely not. We bottled it. But there's promise, and still a very young team. It's still kind of a thin team as well, and it's a young manager too.
Yeah.
So I agree. Okay, Champions League. What a day.
Serie A or Champions League?
Oh, Serie A. Pardon me, Serie A. Wild West, buddy. Wild West. Inter.
And
just like that. Yeah, no, just like that. It didn't take long.
Oh my God, Milan back-to-back ties.
They just need to rest a little bit. They need to take like a 2-hour nap out of the driver's seat. And like, okay, Milan, you can take it for a minute. Let's go. So I nap. Let's go up.
Oh my God! Just to think, if Juve just won that game, it could have been a 4-person race.
Yeah, and AC would still be top too.
Yes, you'd have 65, only 3 back, and Inter would be 2 back of us.
I keep seeing it. It's like,
Inter would be at 63, possibly 66 points. Time in Napoli. Oh, I just really hope it's not Inter, but they're in the driver's seat.
And they have the easiest schedule.
I know.
They absolutely do. Milan have some tricky fixtures down the road.
Napoli had the same situation last year for top 4. They had the easiest schedule in the last 5.
And they
blew it.
Yeah.
And got Juve in there.
It's different cheese, buddy.
And Atalanta's fallen to 8th.
Mm-hmm.
That's a wow. That was a fall.
Yeah, I mean, maybe Inter under Inzaghi, they can hold together. But, Milan had been getting kind of lucky before their last 2 draws. They basically scored. I think in the last 5 or 6 games they've conceded none or once in the league, and maybe scored 4 times. Like it's been 1-0s. It's been 1-0s since Inter, I think.
So Juve
since the Inter match, yeah. But also those last 2 wins they had before the 2 draws were two sublime goals. So I think Kalulu scored one, and Benacer and Benacer, right? And like
Kalulu one was nice. It wasn't sublime. It was nice. But
they were clutch. They were nice clutch goals. All right. Pardon my hyperbole. But but that's it. It's like those were two really good finishes that got them the win, and they weren't dominant. So it's catching up. It's been catching up, and now they are sitting first, but Inter's 2 points back in the game in hand. So there you go.
Unfortunately. But hopefully Juve, unless Roma really gets hot, they should hold on to a fourth place. So, I thought maybe 3-4 months ago we would both be getting fourth place, our teams.
Mm-hmm.
Your team. I might not see you in Champions League football for a while.
No, it might, and it could be longer. If Ten Hag, sorry, I don't get that on this, but I just want to say this: if Ten Hag doesn't get what he needs and what he wants, and if he doesn't turn to be what we hoped, let's say he does, and it just doesn't work out, man, you won't see us in Champions League for 6 years, man. Like straight up 6+ years. It could be a long journey on the cold. Okay, speaking of Champions League, let's open up with Bayern and Villa. And I think it was just last week. I said this last week. Villa had won that first leg 1-0, and I believe I said, much like Italy, I know we got the Italy North Macedonia thing wrong. Yeah, but I'm just as confident.
Yes.
That Bayern will return this and comfy like 3-0 kind of thing. I'm paraphrasing. That's basically what I said.
Yes. And it happened again.
It happened again.
That's kudos to Villarreal. They executed the game plan to perfection.
Unai Emery's got them drilled. He's got them drilled. He is the second coming of Diego Simeone.
With a bit more success. Well, Simeone had 2 leagues?
2 leagues.
And 2 Copa del Rey's or one? Maybe, or just one?
I'm not sure.
I know they beat Real in 1 year. But Unai Emery's won 4 Europa? 4 Europa. Which career?
That's big. That's
was it 3 in a row? Or
yeah,
it was 3 in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is the Unai Emery League, right? That's what they call it.
Mm-hmm.
But now he might do it in the Champions League.
Man, that would be something. But you know what? That's over 180 minutes, and they held Bayern to 1 goal.
Yeah,
shocking. Like really, really impressive.
Yeah.
What did he do?
Set up very. It wasn't as like awful looking on TV. As
I thought it was one. Once.
They've only won once?
With
Oh, they won it without him before? No.
They've won once with him.
Copa del Rey.
Yeah. Sorry, go on.
Like it was easier on the eyes, like than Atletico against City.
No, absolutely.
It was like Atletico and City. It's like, oh my god! But like, you could tell that Villarreal, like you said, he has some drill. They know what they're doing. Mm-hmm. They're setting up intentionally lower to bring the defenseman up, knowing that if you just stay compact, they'll get frustrated. Take 30-yard lash shots. We'll take that because unless they connect it
all day, could get a block in there too.
They get frustrated. They move up even closer, try to force it more. And when you break, it's a 3-on-2 from 60 yards.
And they don't have 10 men behind the ball either.
No, they know what to press, so it's like they have always 3 guys on, right? Not making you do it quickly, but kudos to them. They execute their chances in both games, and they know they're only going to have a few chances. So, it was good. I have no complaints. Bayern, are the better team. They should have won, but they didn't. And I think the actual better team over the 2 legs went through. I think
based on how they're set up, based on how they deployed their tactics, and what they have on paper, they're the better team. The talent's obviously with Bayern, but
They did it.
They can bring
They
it
scored
down.
the first.
I mean, and the goal that they scored out of 180 minutes was a mistake by Pereira. One of their one of Villarreal's most experienced players.
Yeah.
And that's where they got their goal. In the sense, they didn't have any other chances that they could have scored, but nothing too clear cut.
Defensively, great,
amazing, and Pau Torres has got to be making a move this year. I think it's been 2 years where Pau Torres
should have left.
No, not necessarily. I think he's done. I absolutely not. Actually, I'll say absolutely not because I'm getting kind of like a Declan Rice kind of thing, a little bit, where it's like the option's been there for a while, but the stock's raising. You're kind of doing Villarreal a solid in that sense, and they've had 2 really good years. In Europe. I forget. Did Villarreal actually finish in the top 7 last year? So I don't think they had a. They did. I think they did. Yeah, I think they did. Yeah, I think they did.
But yeah, as you said, they
did come
League.
7th. Yeah, Betis and Sociedad would have come 5th and 6th.
The Europa League and now a good Champions League run.
A great, amazing Champions League run. Why am I spacing on who they beat in the round of 16? Juve. They beat Juve. Yeah, they beat Juve. They beat Juve. Like,
good joke.
Funnily enough, I actually wasn't. I was completely drawing blank, but it worked out. It's like it's just on the base level. It's like these are Bayern especially. I know Juve's been reeling.
It's just Bayern.
I know Juve's been reeling, but these are still clubs that
historic clubs. Yes,
they have that experience, and they knocked them both out. Bayern especially.
And now they're gonna face
Benfica or Liverpool. We'll get there in a sec. Chelsea Real. What a match! And another tip with the captain, Thomas Tuchel. This guy, man. He's just I just love watching him on the sidelines. Just like petulant, angry video game nerd. I can see him in his mom's basement. Just like breaking TV after TV. He just gives me that kind of vibe. But he's great. What a manager, and what a performance by Chelsea. It was a little.
Did they play better than you thought?
It was a little. I actually had them to win
the game.
Yes,
or to go through.
No, I had them to win the game, but not to go through. I thought they would win by 1 goal, and even when they got it early, I was like, now you're in a good position. You don't have to expose yourself. You can hang around and just try to take chances. When they score the first goal, 25th-ish?
No, they scored first goal 14th.
Before that, yeah.
14th.
Yes, it was early. It was a great finish by Mount. And, you got the whole game to not expose yourself. Not in that sense, but, and then just kind of pick a chance, like where you can. They just kept coming at them. I'd say the first 10 minutes, they weren't really offering too much. But
why did Real resort back to that? They played that way against PSG, the first leg. They come out similar to that? I know they had a few half chances, but it seemed like Chelsea.
It wasn't as bad as oddly enough, in my books, it wasn't as bad as that PSG performance.
But Chelsea always had the ball. They always had the one to. They always looked like the one to score next.
They did. They absolutely did. Ancelotti did play it a little bit safe. It's weird, despite the fact that they've made the semis, they're going to win La Liga. They're still talking about replacing Ancelotti. Yes, he was a stopgap, but he doesn't have to be for 1 year, especially after a result like this.
Who would be the only manager you would accept them replacing?
That's even possible? That's actually like a viable viable possibility right now?
Yeah.
I don't think there's anyone. I really don't think that there's any manager at all.
What if it's Ten Hag?
Fine.
What if he gets snags him he doesn't get his way with United? And
sure. All right, fine, okay. I don't think that's actually a thing anymore.
No.
I genuinely think that we're going to have United will have Ten Hag. So I honestly don't think there is anyone who's out there right now that's actually a possibility for Real to get.
Poch.
Not going down that road. Absolutely not. It still could be a thing. But it was a really great performance by Chelsea. And what a thrilling match. And then Real did have it. They were able to bounce back. So
the Real DNA. And, I was talking beforehand, and I'm like, this game reminded me of Juve against Real a few years ago when we lost 3-0 and came back and we're up 3-0 and then gave up a 97-minute win. They lost in extra time, Chelsea, but very similar game and feeling, I would imagine, from the Chelsea fans, because they're proud of the effort that they show, but just unlucky at the end. But what a ball from Modric.
Yeah. Again.
What a ball.
Again.
That's the only player I'm worried about for Croatia.
Your boy Rodrigo. I know, of course. That's your boy Rodrigo gets the winner, eh?
Well, he's not the winner of the tie.
Oh yeah, he tied it.
Yeah. Big Ben's got the winner.
Big Ben's got the winner. Yeah.
Another header.
Yeah.
Rudiger slipped and wide open. But Rodrigo, good finish. But
absolutely.
It was all in the pass. That was the highlight of the goal, the pass.
Yeah. I'm obviously worried, and Kovacic as well. Like that midfield, that's the thing. Is that Croatian midfield was going to bounce to Canada quickly. Just speculate about Croatia. They're getting on like that half year. That half year could hurt Modric.
Yes, I know, because I know that's what I'm, and it's but it's also like, how is he in season? Like he's always shining at this time, but we'll be playing him in November,
right?
So it's like
it might be too early.
Yeah,
but also those extra few months might hurt him a little bit. We'll see. We'll see if that works for our benefit. I just
him and then Kovacic.
Honestly, the guy's like in the form of his life right now.
I know.
Like he actually is.
Him and Benzema.
Yeah.
And Benzema. It's unreal. But kudos to Real.
Unreal.
They could do it. They could do it. I think they can.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Especially if Atletico can somehow get out a win tomorrow. Real Atletico. I'm picking Real all day.
100%.
Real all day.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. But
even against City, I don't mind.
I'm not sure. I don't mind them against City.
I don't
really
mind. It's just City. It's like Pep's gonna bottle it. He has to. He has to. I don't know why. Like I would.
Well, we'll be getting to that. I guess in a couple weeks.
He needs to win a Champions League without Messi. He needs to for him to pass Mourinho in my books.
Yeah, I know. You said it once, and it's definitely up for debate tomorrow. Benfica, Liverpool. I don't think we have to spend too much time on this, do we?
Honestly, it's Champions League, and I think we've learned. I'm not doing this.
How arrogant am I?
I'm not doing this anymore.
I'm very stubborn. I'm not learning. It's done, right? It's over.
Every tie has been like good so far.
Oh, come on, Liverpool are gonna walk them.
You never know.
They're gonna walk them. Anfield. They love playing Portuguese teams. Actually, they love spanking Portuguese teams.
This one should be the most lock. Actually, maybe Italy over Macedonia. I would say, yeah, Italy over Macedonia. But this should be as close of a lock as there should be. But I'm just gonna be open and say maybe Benfica surprises us again.
I would say I'll say this.
They beat Ajax the round before.
They sure did. This is obviously like hindsight's 2020. You're saying Italy over Macedonia was more of an upset. I would say going into it, the leg Italy over Macedonia, the tie with Benfica Liverpool, Italy Macedonia is more of an upset. Now with Liverpool being up 2 at home.
But the way goes don't count anymore.
Doesn't matter. This is more of a bottle job than Italy, Macedonia. If they blow this,
I don't know.
It is.
We're
talking Liverpool, right?
At Anfield,
we're talking arguably the best team in the world.
Yes.
At Anfield, up by 2 against Benfica.
But it was the reigning European champions. Reigning.
I'm sorry?
Italy was the reigning European champions against Macedonia. It's like you can take that headline.
I was thinking of Chelsea when you said that. It was like,
no.
I was so focused on Champions League.
No.
No.
Italy, the reigning European champs.
I know, but
they lost to Macedonia.
It's a one-off, though. This is a one-off. This is the second.
But they were at home. It's not like it was neutral.
Liverpool's at home.
Yeah, I know, man. Why did they play at that stadium now? Italy. Why would they play at one of their? That was a skeptical stadium choice.
I'm saying.
I think it's
3-0.
suited Macedonia. You're saying 3-0?
Yeah. Benfica.
They will. Do you think they'll call for over rest for FA Cup?
The hell is that? Is there a rodent in there? What's going on here? Do I think he'll rest for
Salah or Mane? Starting.
I would rest Mane
and start Salah.
Yeah,
with Diaz and Jota.
Yes.
And then
Firmino gets half an hour
for Jota or Salah.
For Salah first and foremost, and then I think he's still bring on Mane, depending on what the score is.
I don't know.
I don't want to get hung up on this too much. It's done.
It's done. It's over.
It's over.
I'll go. 2-0 Liverpool, but they'll get the second one like the 80th. I think they'll be closer than it.
And it'll be casual then. There'll be no point watching it.
I'm watching other matchup.
Yes, I love this. Is Pep gonna overthink this? I mean, honestly,
no, not this one.
Atletico did a job, right? They did a job.
They're only down one.
They're down one. Like they're within striking distance. Man, all they have to do is hang around and just keep it 0-0. Be a little more on the front foot. Yeah. Than they were in Manchester, absolutely. But I mean, that's just about it, isn't it?
That should be the game plan, but
hang around, keep it 0-0 to the 75th, and then tilt your hand a little bit.
But it's something wrong with Suarez, or you just not like him at the moment, Simeone?
I don't think he's injured. I think it's just
what's going on?
I think Griezmann's healthy as well. But let me double check.
No, Suarez has been healthy.
Yeah,
but that's what I'm saying.
Both healthy. Yeah,
but why isn't he playing?
He's getting on.
He's not even getting on as a sub, though. I thought he'd be.
Well, maybe saving him for a sub for this game. Yeah.
So you see what Griezmann and Felix are starting then?
Maybe Correa. Is it Correa?
I don't think Correa will start.
I would start Griezmann. I would start Griezmann. I think Griezmann's more of. He's just got that swagger about him that, he's been fading. He's been fading a little bit, but I think he can kind of pull the rabbit out of the hat. He was great against United, both legs. I think, was he a sub in the first leg against United?
Who?
Griezmann, and he hit the crossbar.
No, he was a starter.
He started that match? Anyway,
Wait, the first match?
Leg, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I think he was a sub.
I think he subbed, hit the crossbar. He came on, caused some problems, almost snagged a winner. And then in the second leg, he put in a great performance, all energy. Like a total Simeone performance, actually. And you know what? He's got the flair. To me, he says you want both those guys just to hopefully just create some magic. That's what they need. That's what they need. They need them. Yeah. They need a couple moments. That's what they need.
They have to come out on the front foot, though. I think.
Yeah, they do.
They have to show some assertiveness and say, "City, you're not. It's going to be a different.
We're not
game.
Sitting back. Yeah,
it's a different game.
For sure.
It could only be for 5 minutes, and then you drop back. But you come out with the adrenaline of the fans.
Mm-hmm.
You have all the energy. Press hard. You just and then you do it for 3-5 minutes. If you don't score, okay, now we resort. Okay, we'll press only in this situation, not all the time.
Sure.
Right, because at least after the anthem, the crowd's involved. Use that energy. Use that momentum.
Fair enough. But yeah, I wouldn't give it very long either. You said 5 minutes. I would actually kind of cap it at 5-7 minutes. I would not go.
No, but you want to use the crowd. If the crowd goes quiet, it's advantage City. If they're just passing the ball and your crowd's quiet or booing you, and it's just come on, guys.
They won't be that. That crowd's not going to be booing them whatsoever. That crowd's not going to boo them.
If they start the way they did last game, yeah, of course I would boo.
After
home, you can do that in the road, but not at home.
Yeah, but after 5 to 10 minutes, they just need to be hanging in the game, Mike. That's all they need to do.
Well, hopefully they do. So it's a game.
Yeah,
it's a tie.
But that's just it, though. It's if they're not, if they go too far on the front foot, that they'll get City will pick a ball over the top, no problem, right, or cut right through them. Those defenders are not.
Is Pep playing his A team?
Yeah, absolutely.
So is Mars playing? Starting?
Yes, Mars is back to being the cup guy. I think Mars will start on the weekend too against Liverpool.
And then Foden and
Jesus is suspended.
Yeah, because he got that stupid yellow. So Sterling.
I wonder if look what Grealish did in that when he came out as a sub last week.
Well, he just antagonized and got
He didn't
fouls.
he didn't antagonize him. They were just going after him.
Yeah, I know. You know what I meant. But he was just drawing fouls and sucking the game.
Which is, man,
maybe they were doing it on purpose. So it's just like
I would start Grealish.
No.
He's chippy too. He's obviously like.
I think you keep him as a sub. I think
they view him as like the Atletico view him as kind of like fuckboy type that they don't respect, and like they can get under their skin. I think they should. I think he's a good player. He's a great player.
No, I think you just go for Sterling and try to finish the game off early. But then
I'm gonna say he picks Grealish over Sterling. Grealish, Foden, and Mahrez. I think those are the three he goes with in this one.
Interesting. I think Sterling for Grealish, but same.
Sterling deserves it though. I will say that.
But then you
just for certain reasons.
Rodri, De Bruyne,
Bernardo. I would go with Gundogan. You know what?
Bernardo is a shoe. He's usually a shoe.
I know because he's such a big game player. And he's also someone who is not too afraid to get dirty. He's small, but he loves to antagonize a little bit too. You know what? Actually, Mike, what I would do with experience and just actually really sure. I know Sterling has been good. I know I knock Sterling a lot, but he's been pretty solid for the last few months.
KDB in the false nine?
No, I would not do that. I would actually start. Silva doesn't really play.
He can play up there, but he's better from the three. So you're trying to fit into Gundogan?
Yeah,
that's what you're struggling with.
Yeah,
if Gundogan plays.
Gundogan Silva, whenever he plays
Silva and
Rodri,
then De Bruyne goes up in the 9, and then it could be Foden,
and then Mahrez on. Yeah,
that's great.
I guess you could.
Because Pep did the KDB floating 9 last year, right? And it got him to the finals.
Yep.
So maybe he throws it out again. But Pep's trying to put this game away early.
I mean, the team still easily could.
They should.
Yeah,
they should. I think his focus should be scoring in the first 20 minutes. I think if you do that, Atletico.
Oh, it's done.
It's done.
It's done. I'll put on Benfica.
So whatever a lineup he comes out with, that should be his plan to score in the first 20 minutes. If that team doesn't score in the first 20 minutes, you didn't start the right people.
It'll be interesting, actually. If City do score in the first 20 minutes, like
it's over. I think it's over.
But I'll watch it till it's 2-0 because maybe we'll see what Atletico would do though. Like can they get lucky? Can they kind of smash one right back? That's all they need.
Well, what was it? The year that they lost to Real in the semis, Atletico, when Ronaldo got the first leg hat trick, and it was like, everyone thought it was over, and they went up 2-0 in like the first 20 minutes.
That's right.
And then Real scored at the end of the first half, and that really killed it. But they came out fighting, down 3-0. So maybe.
So Benzema did that nice little on the touchline,
goal line,
and then great save from Oblak. I was on Cruz, right?
Yeah, but they were down 3-0.
Who got the rebound? Did Benzema put the rebound in?
No, it was Vasquez. I think it was Vasquez.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going 2-0.
2-0 City?
Yeah.
I'm going to go 3-1 City.
Really?
Yeah. I think late goal, it'll be 2-1.
You think they...
Like, 2-1 and then they'll get the...
And like Atletico do manage, like, they open themselves up a little bit and they get scored on again?
I think it'll be 2-1 and then like an 87th minute goal when they're all pushed up.
Yeah.
To make it 3-1.
Yeah. Okay. Fair play. Okay, let's get your dicks out, Mike, because it's Klopp and Pep time. The back-to-back continues.
So what, you want them to do that handshake before the game? Never. I'm kidding. But I honestly, I think Liverpool has Pep ever won a FA Cup?
Yeah.
So that was
because he's been winning. He's
just been winning Carabaos, right?
Let's double check, but
I think it's. They should have. I would hope they've won one, but I was going to say this game means more for Liverpool because they have the quadruple still in sight.
Yeah, they beat Watford. Oh yeah, they smashed Watford 3 years ago.
Okay, so they do have one.
Didn't they win like 5-0 or something? It doesn't matter.
Yeah, this game definitely means more for Liverpool then. So I expect. I want Liverpool to win. And this time I'm going to take him to win. I always take. City, hoping that it doesn't happen. I want Liverpool to happen, and I'm taking them to win 2-1 this game.
Honestly, why do you think that?
It's early to say, and I know City's had a few years, I think 2 years, when they've had quad hopes, and it's been squandered. But if there is an English team to do it at the moment, I think it would be Liverpool.
I can see that. Well, I mean, they're the only team that can do it. So
no, not this year, but I'm just saying, like, even in the past 5, like, those City teams, I was like, oh, they haven't won a Champions League. I'll never believe them until they win a Champions League.
Right.
Liverpool
have that
historically, and even now, like, they've made deep Champions League runs, and won back to back, and then they lost to Atletico. But what did they lose in the quarters last year? Oh, how did they lose? How did they lose last year to Liverpool in the Champions League? How am I blanking on this? Either way, I think they're really driven for the squad. And I think they're going to get 2, possibly 3, but not the quad. But I think it'll be fun to see. You're still thinking.
It is bothering me. Did PSG play them?
I really can't remember.
Chelsea, City, PSG. No, PSG was the quarters for City, right? I was trying to go backwards.
City Chelsea, beat PSG City. In the semis.
Semis or quarters? I think it was the quarters, wasn't it? Was it Bayern?
No, Bayern PSG was the quarters.
That was the quarters?
Yeah. That was the quarters.
Okay, you know what?
Because Sané set the record. He's the first player. He was already the first person with 4, but now he has 5 consecutive quarterfinals exits.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's not get too okay.
I think they can do the quad. I'm sorry. I don't think they do, but I think they'll get 3. I think they might get 3.
The tournaments. You think they get the tournaments and not the league?
I think the league. I think the league is gonna. I think
they're gonna. City's gonna. You think City's gonna slip?
I hope they do.
You hope they do, but do you think they will?
They'll slip once, but Liverpool can't slip. So if Liverpool's, it's all up to it. City's gonna slip, but if Liverpool don't slip, they'll win the league.
Do you think City slip around the time they have their semifinal matchup in the Champions League? Talking like they've won tomorrow.
I just hope they slip up. I don't care when it happens.
Okay, so why do you think they're gonna win on Saturday? On Saturday.
It's Saturday?
Yeah, 10:30.
Liverpool?
Yeah.
I think they're gonna get the better of City to begin the game for once. Did they concede first against City at home? I think they always score early and often. And I think eventually they're going to do it against City.
I think Liverpool were winning 1-0, and then City flipped it on them in that match. And in the first leg, in the first fixture.
Yeah, no, De Bruyne tied it,
and then Foden scored.
Liverpool was up, and then it went back and forth. So I think they're going to go up 2-0, and I think they're going to win 2-1. But I think eventually against City, a good one of these times they're going to go up 2-0 early like they always do, and it's going to be enough. They always score early and often. They do. And I think if think about if De Bruyne's goal doesn't go in on a big deflection that goes off the post and in,
I think
they scored right away after. And imagine if they scored right away without that goal going up 1-0. What makes you think they can't do it again?
I think you're right. Especially because I think City have a lot more to play for tomorrow, and they have to travel as well. There's a lot of factors that I think, energy levels. They're also gonna view, as you said, the FA Cup's gonna mean more to Liverpool, trying to keep this quad alive, especially, right? And City's gonna look at the league and Champions League as a focus. They're gonna put everything. They're not gonna mind that they just came off that big match on Sunday.
Yeah,
he could, if he wants to, apart from Jesus, start an identical lineup and play all his big guns again. and they might be a little run down on Sunday. Yes, they're extremely deep, and he can rotate. Pep can rotate, but yeah, mentally, I think they might be a little complacent.
I'm not.
They're not the complacent type, right? I don't want to put that on City.
Yes,
I don't want to put that on Liverpool. These are top players who actually give a shit. But maybe it's just like not quite there. Liverpool's probably gonna be a little hungry, a little vengeance too. Considering they got the draw on Sunday, but it wasn't enough for them too. Right? So.
City's focused on the Champions League. I think Pep says, "Oh, the league, always the league," but he wants to have a Champions League.
I'm gonna one up you. You know what? I think it's gonna be kind of a bit of a mauling.
Oh,
3-0.
City?
No.
Oh, Liverpool. Oh, we're both taking Liverpool. Mauling, eh?
A little bit. Yeah, a little bit. I think.
I just hope it's exciting, and although the Carabao Cup was 0-0, right? But that was actually one of the most exciting 0-0 games. But
it was great.
I think Liverpool. They always play exciting games at least Liverpool, so that's why I like them. Win or lose or tie, which is mostly they win. It's usually an exciting game, one way or the other. Wow, 3-0, eh?
Yeah.
That's big.
Beautiful.
That's big. Well, we had a big week of soccer.
That we did.
And
we're back next week.
Actually, do you think Pep goes to Brazil? What are these things?
Tite leaves after the World Cup, and Pep's contract's up. It's not the end of next year. He
renewed.
Yeah, he did. Isn't it like 2025?
It's 4.
It is. I thought he renewed.
Maybe he did. Yeah.
We can look into that, but I think that's the case anyway. But then he also talks about it's just so wishy-washy. It's like talks about being there for the rest of his life.
That City, he gets whatever he wants. I don't blame him.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I'm not even entertaining these Brazilian.
That'd be wild, though.
I think Brazil win anyway. That they're my team for this World Cup. Tide's done a great job with them. They're very well organized, and they get wins. Like they're Chelsea-esque to me in terms of
how they play.
I can't say I've seen much of Brazil, but just based on what I've just noticed from their results and how controlled it is, and that they generally don't blow teams out of the water. I know they just did with Chile.
But they usually win like 2.
It's usually like 2-0. Yeah. That kind of thing. Even I have 1-0. I've seen like a number of 1-0s in their qualifying as well, and just like
Fred holds it down.
Fred.
He starts for them. I don't know how. I really don't.
Honestly, he hasn't always though.
I know,
but
always. During the summer,
he's not going to the World Cup. I promise you that.
But Copa, he was starting every match. The Copa, right? When they lost in the finals.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, and was he lodged him beside Fabinho?
Yes.
No, there you have it.
So you just put anyone there, right? That's what you're saying.
No, I just like Fabinho, but no. And Fred gets his dues, sure, but he's not going to be starting. He'll be there. Tite loves him, and the guy puts in a lot of effort. But when do you use Fred when it comes let's say it's the World Cup? When are you bringing Fred on? Never.
If I'm the coach,
but he likes him though, so you got to give him some. Gotta give him a little bit of leeway.
65th, 70th minute. If you're winning by 2.
Yeah, if you're winning by 2. Yeah. Okay.
That's me personally. I love Fred though. I love him.
I think he's underrated. I have a soft spot for Fred.
I think he's underrated.
I have a soft spot for Fred.
He does a lot of work that people don't know.
He puts in a lot of work, but he doesn't have the ability.
Yeah, I know, but you still like him. You can still like the guy.
Absolutely. I mean, as a neutral, I'm sure you find it very endearing when, he skies a shot or misplaces a pass by 5 yards and he smiles and puts his thumbs up, or he waves and apologizes. He loves that. He's saying, I was like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm like, yeah, okay, but you're
don't do it again, please.
You're getting paid a lot of money to play what was a big club. So, sorry, I'm just really.
I can tell.
It's bad. It's really bad. Okay. Next week, We'll aim for Monday. We got some midweeks next week. United Liverpool, yay! I don't think anything's gonna change for me. I don't think so. We'll see what happens on the weekend. I think I'm just gonna say it now. We lose that match against Liverpool.
4-1.
No, he's doing so generous.
What, 7-0? Yeah, right.
Let's see what happens on. I want to see how we play. We're playing Norwich. No, we're playing Norwich. Forget that shit.
1-0 win.
5-0 again. 5-0 again.
Back-to-back 5-0s.
Is where we lose that. Yeah.
I don't think so, but time will tell. Time will tell.
Well, okay. We'll talk about it Monday. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.
Soon.